Welcome to Beyond the Spot. I'm Melissa Thornley, and today we have with us Lewis Williams. Lewis is the Chief Creative Officer at Burell Communications Group. Hi, Lewis.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm just fine.
So, how did you get into advertising?
I took this graphic design class, and I noticed I had this knack of, I like this design thing, where you put pictures with words, and you got this thing called a concept. Well, and you can convince people to buy something they really don't want to. But I kind of became enamored with that, and I thought it was really, really great. Even I noticed, and I look back in my graphic design days, I just didn't do design for design's sake. I always look for things to design that had some kind of meaning and some kind of emotion. So I always had that desire for a human connection, no matter what I did, but I always looked for something that had a deeper meaning into it.
What type of work right now is inspiring you, and what's inspiring you in general?
Well, you know, what I like about where we are on this timeline in advertising, I'm able to still be in the business when something like social media and all the digital things surrounding that influences who we are and change the business. So how do you take what's core of humanity and still make it a part of this highly tech world that we're in? What really works best in social media is things that really touch the human spirit in some way, in some form.
One of those initiatives was the Blackest initiative, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so that was that came out a year ago, but that's gotten a lot of press recently.
Yes, yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, a young copywriter, Dominique Curtis, came to me one day and said, you know, I'm really concerned about black boys in our community, and how they just, oh God, it's just this target, and I want to do something about it. She went over and interviewed these little kids, and talked about how they felt about living in a community. Unfortunately, the kids was living in some pretty tough neighborhoods where violence was an everyday factor for them, and they really did fear for their lives. I don't know if you heard the national story, but one of the young men, Zariel Tucker, was one of the young men in the spot, and he's like maybe 11 years old, 12 years old, and he spoke about how tired he was of hearing gunshots in his community.
I don't want to live around my community where I got to keep on hearing and hearing. People keep on getting shot, people keep on getting killed.
And he just wished it would stop, and how he really himself was concerned about being a target. And maybe about a month ago, this young man's worst fear happened to him. Thank God he was wounded, and so he's still with us, but it could have gone another way.
Yeah, well, and how cool that you were able to get the agency together and come up with a campaign to speak out about it. So what do you think the role of diversity in our industry is right now? Like, how do you think we're doing? How can we do better?
Well, the advertising agency diversity scorecard is not so good. We have so many consumers. You know, we make something, we make this table, and we want all kinds of people to buy this table. You know what I mean? But so why are we doing such a poor job of being inclusive, you know, from the people we hire? It's very disappointing, to be honest.
If I were on the hiring side at an agency, what advice would you give me?
A young person comes into a minority creative, comes to my office. They show me 10 things in their book. I'm gonna look for that one thing that tells me, this 9 suck. This one right here, that's the one. Let's talk about that. If I'm someone else and someone is different from me and I'm not comfortable with that person, I'm looking at the 9. And I'm ignoring that 1. That was great. Well, the portfolio sucked. Yeah, but that was one of, it was just 1. Yeah, but it was that 1. And that's the difference. And if people looked at it that way, if they hit that 1, talk to them about how they got to that 1. Then they can apply that across the other 9. But I dismiss you. And so I'm just really disappointed in an industry where we're supposed to be embracing all of these things that's different from us. We want to learn. That's where creativity and great ideas come from. But how to really do better, I think the clients need to put more pressure on the agencies. Clients need to say, you know what, because I saw this quote from a person who ran Pepsi, but he was tired of a bunch of white straight guys presenting to him. Well, that's good you said that, but did you go to your agency and say, I'm tired of, these 20 white guys always wins. When next time you come see me, I don't want to see that.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Then get back to me.
Yeah.
A lot of agencies hire young minority talent. They do not mentor them, or they don't have anybody there that they can say, wow, this could be you. And what happens is that they sort of, I call it die on the vine. They become frustrated. They become like, I'm in this 4th year of my career. I'm not getting the feedback that I wish I could get. People seem not to be understanding me. They think I have an attitude. They don't like my writing style. All these things. How do I maneuver past that? And they have no one who's been there 10 years or 15 years before them to say, how did you get through this?
So what do you say to those bright people? How do you get in the pipeline and stand out? And how do you stay in the pipeline to move up in your career?
You have to find a mentor somewhere. And that mentor may not look like you.
Just pick somebody that's already up ahead of you on the path,
Yes.
that's on the trail.
Yes.
Like they don't have to be like you, they don't have to look like you, they don't have to work like you. It's probably actually a good idea to look for people that are ahead of you in the game and are different from you, because then you can learn from somebody that's different from you,
Because
right?
I tell people a lot of times, it's like, okay, you're at an agency, big agency, and you're a young person, minority person. Go down to the C-suite, knock on the president's door. Hi, I'm Lewis. I just started here 6 months ago. I want you to know who I am. Don't be intimidated. You want to go to the highest person at that agency and let them know that you are there. So that person's like, oh, okay, how are you? But you can't wait for it to come to you. You know what I mean? So again, it's like, don't be afraid to go to these places where you think you're not allowed to. You're going to have to do that. And so often I've seen a lot of minorities run away from who they are. Okay, well, I'm the only woman and I don't want to be pigeonholed. I'm on the African American, I don't want to be pigeonholed. But I say embrace those things and use those things as your strength. I remember being at Leo Burnett and, hey, I work on the black stuff. And why? Because number one, I'm good at it. Number two, I don't trust you with it. And I want to make sure if you're going to talk to my people, I want it to be right. Yeah. And I'm equipped to do that. Yeah. I'm going to take this project, I'm going to own it, and I'm going to give it the respect that it deserves. So don't run away from who you are. Because if you do, people are going to see that in you, and they're going to say, well, you don't even respect yourself.
Yeah, embrace your strengths.
Embrace
really.
your strength. It's important to be yourself, and don't be anybody else.
Now it's the time when I ask my 3 questions.
Uh-huh.
So you can take them as you will.
Okay.
So the first question is, where do you come from?
Well, I'm a Southern boy, and I love the South. I come from Macon, Georgia.
Yeah.
Home of Otis Redding, Allman Brothers Band, and Nancy Grace.
I love it. And where are you going?
Don't know yet. I'm still going.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? I'm still going. On my path, I want to win a Cannes Lion. I really do. So I'm just going to keep going till I get one or die trying.
Yeah, well, that's going for the lion. That's what you got to go for.
One day.
And what keeps you going?
Passion. I just love what I do. And so when you love what you do, I see no end game. It's just every day, the moment whenever you solve a problem, when someone brings you a solution, or you see some response, or someone laughs where you wanted them to laugh, or some client you just never get tired of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one gets tired of feeling good when you're able to impact someone else in a positive way.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like you get to do that with your clients, you get to do that with your team, you get to do that with your family.
Yeah, with family. So As long as that's there, I'm okay.
Yeah, your passion is pretty contagious, I gotta say. That's a good thing.
Okay.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today, Louis.
Thank you, Melissa. It was great.
Yay.
Bye-bye.